Hey everybody, once again, it's your favorite captain, back with... I want to rant, I guess is what I'm back with. This has kind of just become a Capt Jesso rant kind of channel, because I just like to talk and ramble on. I'm like an old drunk guy, like half the time. But I really wanted to rant, because I have been in a lot of Facebook groups recently, and a lot of things. I've been getting really seriously back, well, yes, I spent the last fucking year getting seriously back into Yu-Gi-Oh! But, like, you know, I spent a lot of time around, doing a lot of things, getting on to things, and I see one complaint constantly, are YUGI Boomers going on about how the new game sucks, how the new meta is too fast, how all these different selling methods all suck, and this is just, I miss the good old Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was good back in the day, Yu-Gi-Oh! Sucks now, and... good God, man. Please just shut the fuck up. Like, you know, we get it. That's like a thing, right? You tap into your nostalgia, you start remembering old things back in the day when you played on the playground in the library, and like, that was the coolest shit ever. You had so much fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. No one can take that back away from you. So, I was in the same boat myself. I'm going to start off with a bit of a story. And the story I want to start off with was, like, say 5 or 6 years ago. So, no, maybe not that long. We'll say, like, oh shit, no it is. Oh god. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, 5 or 6 years ago. Wow, I'm old. I had just picked up a couple of cards randomly out of nowhere, because I had a few extra bucks to spend. I was young and rich and decided to throw some money into some cards, which, by the way, great investments. They're all worth a bunch now. But not the point. So, at the time, I'd given away all of my cards to my cousin, who still has a bunch of them, still keeps them, still whatever. Like, it's cool, man. But he's like, hey, man, I got all my cards with me. We're hanging out. Do you wanna duel for old time's sake? And of course, big YUGI Boomer, right? So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna build out the best friggin' deck on the planet, fill it with big old 1900 beaters. Like, I played classic playground casual shit. I'm talking like the dumbest shit you've ever seen. Like, I'm like, man, I'm gonna throw in the fucking Luster Dragon, like, 1900 beater, I'm gonna throw in, you know, this and that, and I'm just gonna go to fucking Pound Town on this guy, right? Maybe throw in a Blue Eyes White Dragon just to, like, for my ace monster. I shit you not, when I actually started up, and we got in and we started dueling, I got my ass taken to fucking Pound Town when I go, alright, I set one pass. And this dude goes into, like, 3 Z's monsters, detach, go fuck yourself, game over. Could not believe it. Could not believe it. And I remember just being dumbfounded about, okay, first of all, Z's monsters, what the hell are those? That's such a broken summoning technique. Like, you know, like, what happened? What happened to just set and pass and throw it in your big beaters? Well, here's the fact. It was never good, right? I get it. Like, we had those decks we made those with our hearts, right? Not all of us had the money to go out and buy, like, the toppest tier shit in the world. We got our $20 starter decks from wherever. We bought, like, 4 packs, and we made, we traded with our friends. We made some crazy shit from that, right? I had, like, Albus the Tormentor, and I thought I was, like, the coolest goddamn person on the planet. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to enjoy that. You need to, in here, right? That's a big part about why a lot of us still collect, or still are involved with it, or still, still play Yu-Gi-Oh! In some form, or still have it in our lives. It's a great hobby. It's a fantastic card game. It's the best in the world as far as I'm concerned. But, like, we need to dispel, like, a few myths I kind of have to just laugh at. So, like I said, I was the same. I was a boomer. Like, I played the old Game Boy Advance games, World Championship 2006, like, and I still play it. I still enjoy it, right? I need to dispel some myths and just, like, kind of get you out of your own ass for 2 seconds, because, like, I'm just seeing this too much of people who refuse to change, refuse to even look at any of the new way the game's played, and I just want to prove a few points. Because, again, I was that boomer at one point. So, the first thing I see is, nowadays, well, the game's too fast, you're summoning this left and right, you're doing this, like, I can't keep up with it. And you know what? This is the one thing I'm going to agree with, okay? I'm going to agree with, I'll give you one thing, okay? I'll give you one thing, the game is really fast. But the thing is, that is power creep. That's the natural progression of the game, right? So I'm browsing in the background. I'm just talking and rambling at the same time. But like the thing is nowadays you think about it, like cards aren't useless if you can only do one thing and then, flip, set, pass. All right, I do one thing. It's gone to the graveyard. The game has always been, and even back then, even way back in the day, it was always about resource management, about getting good cards and making the most of those cards and getting as much value as you could out of those cards, right? The game has always been there. Yes, it's a lot faster. Yes, I'm in big agreement that I think it should slow down, bring back Thunder Dragon Colossus, but, you know, it is what it is. It's just natural power creep. At the end of the day, the game is just going to get stagnant if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again. It's insanity. It's literally insanity, right? Same thing over again. And, the biggest thing, well, it's too fast because monsters have too many effects, there's too much text, there's too much this and that. I'm going to say one thing right now. Shut up. Monsters have always had too much text back in the day. The difference is they're better now. Okay? Look at this. Longest text in the game. For the longest time, it was the biggest, chunkiest card for text in the game because it had multiple effects. That's just like the meta now. That just is what it is. Right? You want your cards that if you're, if you summon it, you get an effect off summon. If it goes to the graveyard, you get something back for that. That's just good resource management. Those are just good playable cards. So that's like the first thing. Yes, it's fast. Okay, I will give you a little bit of leeway in saying, whatever. It's sped up a little bit. I like slow. That's why I kind of still, I still play all the older games. Okay? Well, all the new summoning methods suck. Link sucks. It's broken. Yes, okay, we all agree Link's broken. We all agree Pendulum sucks. But again, this is actually one of the main reasons why I started transitioning into wanting to get into new and start playing newer competitive, or not even competitive, but like newer modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the extra deck or the fusion deck sucked back in the day. There was so much lost potential with that if you actually look at it, because at the end of the day, old fusion monsters were, well, you had to get specific cards in your hand and a specific card to get what? Like a beater that had like 300 more attack than one thing you could just already summon with half the resources. So the extra deck got made a lot better. Like I said, I don't like Link. I don't like it because I just think it's a very broken, easy mechanic. It is what it is. I don't hate it that much, but it does speed up that. And the thing is if you actually look at the extra deck now with all the newer methods, it creates a toolbox of different things you can do for getting you out of certain situations. You got an enemy that's, so reliant on decks that special summon, boom, throw out something in El Shaddai Winda, and all of a sudden, that bricks that deck. You've got, an enemy that, is building a board or has something, something crazy, and you want to stop them, boom, throw to Dragoon. Yeah, I get, that these methods are confusing. They're terrifying. We're so used to, fusion monsters just being the only thing in the deck, but nobody ever actually used them. I don't know if you ever noticed that. Unless you, specifically built around, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or something like that, why would you play these random dumb vanillas? It's getting to the point now where, the only way that they had any use was from the card Metamorphosis that would cheat them out of the extra deck, and things like Instant Fusion that would cheat them out. So, yeah, okay, new summoning methods are scary, but the thing is, they're not that bad. Z summoning, for example, is super easy. You throw two cards on top of each other. The new card that goes on top of it gets its effect by getting rid of those cards. That's easy, right? Synchro summoning, it's math. You get a freed monster for a little bit of quick math, right? So I just think that's such a bullshit argument, man. Having a toolbox now, because that's what it is, that extra deck is a toolbox. And back in the old day in GOAT format or old classic vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! The toolbox used to be the main deck. Things like a warrior deck, for example. You would use a card like Reinforcement of the Army. You would pull whatever card you needed at the time to get you to whatever situation. So something like Marauding Captain to get field presence. Something like Command Knight to boost your guys. I'm forgetting a lot right now. I'm old. Again, I am a boomer myself, right? So, yeah, right? So the difference is now the toolbox can be stored kind of on the side in that extra deck, and you can go into a bunch of different things. Probably the most garbage argument, though, that I hear, and the one that I can't stand all the time is, well, everybody plays the same 3 friggin' decks. It's all the same dumb cards. And this argument, by the way, seriously, shut the fuck up. That was all that was played. The only reason you think that there was diversity way back in the day was because everybody played mishmash playground decks of whatever cards they could find. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you look at serious competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, because you're using a straw man here, you're trying to compare old mishmash random playground Yu-Gi-Oh to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, guess what? In competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, when they actually built competitive decks, that's it. That's pretty much it. That's what you played, right? Well, cards are too broken nowadays. Well, guess what? These were all broken back in the day. There's a reason that most of this is either banned or was banned, or will never come off the ban list. Pot of Greed, Delinquent Duo, you'll never see those again. They're too good. Every single person put those cards in their deck, and yes, there's going to be broken cards. You think about it, one random card that's in a set 10 years ago could all of a sudden become broken by a new card that comes out today. It's just the nature of the game, right? No, I don't like all the forced balancing. Well, every card is once per turn and stuff like that. I get that. Like, I kind of agree with that a little bit. But, like, let's not pretend that there wasn't any diversity back in the day, because there was none. You were playing some of a Chaos deck. You were playing some form of Warrior deck if you're playing competitive. Or you're playing some form of random stun control deck. Or some mishmash of those. That was it. Competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! That was it. And I can prove this, by the way. I can prove this. 1 second. So this is the GOAT format, because people still play the old fashion Yu-Gi-Oh, those decks and things like that, and that's fine. This is GOAT format. I'm gonna have a look at all these decks. I know it's not very well, you know. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Right? Mystic Tomato, Magician of Faith, Chaos Sorcerer, Breaker, Pot of Greed, Delinquent Duo. Oh, wait a second. Blockluster Soldier, Breaker, Sangan, Magician of Faith, Pot of Greed, Delinquent Duo. Okay, Breaker, Delinquent Duo, Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed. Okay, Graceful Charity, Delinquent Duo, Pot of Greed, Breaker, Chaos Sorcerer. The top 8 decks are all the fucking same. Yeah, there's a few things here and there. You look at it, they're the fucking same. There was no diversity back then. So, like, let's just... In order to stop my rambling here a little bit, because I don't like to run these videos on too long. Nobody wants to hear an old guy ramble about random shit. You know, it's like the old Simpsons meme, old guy yells at cloud. But, like, all I'm saying is give the newer Yu-Gi-Oh! A chance. At the end of the day, I actually started kind of liking modern Yu-Gi-Oh! When I started playing. What got me into it, you gotta pick something and stick with it. And my thing was Shaddoll, because my cousin has the Shaddoll structure deck. I went in, he bought like Dual Devastator and things like that. So I went in and I threw in a few cards that were staples that I didn't really know how to play, I guess. Like different links and things like that. And like, right, because I don't know, you know, I don't know the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! That well. I don't know that. And I might do a... If you guys want to watch it, by the way, I might do a video series of me just trying to learn random decks and random shit and boom my way back into the modern format. But, like... I don't know. It's not as bad as you think. If you're really stuck and you really just want to play the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Then do it. If you go, people still host GOAT format, you know, duels and tournaments and all that. You can actually go and you go and play Yu-Gi-Oh! Online. People still play GOAT. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's get realistic. GOAT format, the old classic vintage Yu-Gi-Oh! Was fantastic. It's great. There's a reason why everybody loves it so much. It's a reason why it's called GOAT format, not just because of the card Scapegoat, but like, you know. But like, it was a fantastic format. It was fun, right? And that's the whole point of this card game. Is for fun, and people forget about that. It's fun, right? So, you know, I still play all the old games myself. I still play the old World Championship, the Game Boy Advance games, because I enjoy those. Those are a piece of my childhood, and I'm going to hold on to those forever. I'm going to collect the old cards, right? I'm going to collect all the old stuff. Sorry, I know this is a giant flex, but, like, you know, I'm going to collect all the old stuff, because, like, this, to me, has way more meaning than just the random cards that... There's my daily flex, by the way. All first editions from the original sets. Come on. But, like, you know, I'm going to collect those because those, to me, have meaning as a collectible, right? I'm not just pulling some random Starlight or buying out some random high-rarity card because, oh, wow, it's cool. I'm buying cards for the collecting purpose because they were cool to me. But let's stop shitting on new Yu-Gi-Oh! As if it was like a completely terrible, broken, you know, landscape where every card nowadays you summon is too broken. Dude. Come on. There's always going to be broken cards and broken decks. That's what the meta is. Okay? And let's just... Oops. There we go. Centered myself. You know, let's just enjoy it. If you want to, you know, I really do recommend, though, pick a deck that's meta. Pick a cookie cutter deck. Go online. There's a bunch of decks that are already pre-built that you can download and try out. Shadal was mine. I love playing Shadal. I'm trying to get into Invoke Shadal now. I'm trying to figure out how the combos and things like that work because there's a lot of comboing and moving off. It is a fast game. Like I said, that's what's hard for me is it's a fast game. But it's not bad. It's bad to me because I don't understand it. Anyways, I'm going to cut it off probably around here because I'm rambling. I want to go for a walk or do something with my life because, again, as I always say, I've got other things I do other than sit in front of a webcam and yell at, like, 10 people. But hey, man, you know what? Just do what you like. Enjoy the game. It's great. We're all here for a reason. We're a great community, okay? But please stop shitting on people that play the modern game and enjoy that game. There's a reason they do that, because they have fun. We're allowed to have that fun, okay? Have a good night, weekend. It's Monday, so you probably caught the Progression Series. Easily the best episode of all time. Please go watch it. It's fucking crazy. And it's not just like, hey, look, I pulled Magical Scientist. It's actually, like, it's good. I'm out of here. Capt Jesso's out.